she was told he had a wandering eye, and she's like, well, you know what, it's okay as long as that eye wandered over to me. And I was like, ew, like, have some self-respect. Where is your dignity, sweetie? Hey, it's Che. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the first episode of Fear Street Friday. Like I said in the introduction video, I don't really have all these books, so I can't really go in chronological order. I went ahead and got this. I got Bad Dreams from my public library, so let me go ahead and read you the synopsis of Bad Dreams. It's just a bad dream, but it seems so real. Every night, Maggie Travers has the same horrible dream. Every night, she is forced to watch the same murder. And every night, the girl in her dream cries out for help. Maggie is afraid to go to sleep again. But when the terrifying dream starts to come true and the gruesome accidents begin, staying awake is the real nightmare. So I don't really have a plan for these videos. I'm just basically going to read these books each week and then tell you my thoughts on them. But for this first video, since I didn't really know what to do, I do have my boyfriend here behind the camera, and I'm just pretty much going to explain the story to him and you guys at the same time to see just, you know, where I want to take these videos. But for now, that's what I'm going to do, and let me just tell you guys about Bad Dreams. Bad Dreams is about this girl named Maggie Travers and her family. They just moved to Fear Street. So the reason that they moved to Fear Street, I'll get to that in a second, but the first chapter starts off with Maggie and her sister Andrea, and their problem is that they argue a lot. And so they argue too much, and it's actually the reason that they moved, because one morning they got into an argument. One morning they got into an argument so bad that their dad died. Their dad literally had a stroke after he told Maggie to grow up because she kept arguing with her little sister, and they're only like a year apart, and so they can't afford their house anymore. Mrs. Travers is a widow, and the first chapter is pretty much them moving, and Andrea and Maggie get into an argument because I think Andrea wanted to stop for a Coke at 7-Eleven. I think that's where it was. And her sister gets them lost, like going to the house. So they're lost and they're arguing back and forth about, you know, why they're lost. And this really just sets up like their dynamic. They don't get along. Maggie has this like resentment towards Andrea because she pretty much gets anything she wants, because she'll start an argument with Maggie and then the mom will be like, Maggie, just let her have whatever she wants. You start getting like annoyed with Andrea because she's like getting under your skin. And so they get to the house. The Fear Street house is really like torn up, and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe we live in like the poor part of town now. They're getting out of the car, and excuse my neighbor, he's taking a shower. They're getting out of the car, and Mrs. Travers is like, don't let out Gus, their dog. Don't let Gus out yet. And so Andrea goes and opens the door and lets Gus out. Gus runs away. Gus literally runs away. Andrea is the one who opened the door, but then starts yelling at Maggie that, oh, Maggie should go get it because it's her dog. I'm like, you are the one who let the dog out. So Maggie goes running through the streets and she's trying to find her dog. And then of course R.L Stine sweeps in, changes the next chapter to the dog gets hit by the car, but it didn't. He just made it sound like it got hit because the dog is yelping in pain and then isn't hit by a car. So I was like, why was he yelping in pain? I don't know. They move into the house. Maggie gets the room with this canopy bed. So the girls, they pick their rooms, and when Maggie gets to the room that she's picked, there is a big pink canopy bed. And it's like a 4-poster pink canopy bed with like detailed with pine cones, which I thought was a weird like detail to add. She's obsessed with this bed. And of course, Andrea, she comes in and she's like, I can't believe that she gets this bed. It's not fair. The mom was like, oh, well, you know, it is fair because she got here first and this is her room. They start arguing and it creates this like really bad blood between the two sisters and there's like tension. So Maggie and Andrea, they fight over this bed, but Maggie wins in the end. She's happy she gets the bed. Continues on into their schooling and pretty much they're on the swim team together. There are 11 girls on this swim team, but can you tell me why only 4 of them are talked about? The other girls get no screen time at all. So I don't even know why they're even mentioned. And so the girls on the swim team, they are working really hard to go to like All-State, and that's what their like goal is. And Maggie's the best. Of course, Maggie is the golden girl. She's like perfect. Oh, I forgot to mention that Maggie and Andrea, they were like, when he was explaining what they looked like, I think they're both redheads with like green eyes, light skin. And Maggie, huh?
Are they twins?
No, Maggie is 17 and Andrea is 16. So there's that like year gap of Maggie has matured because she's 17 and then Andrea, she's still like a child. And he wrote her like a baby. She has something negative to say about everything. She gets really like uptight whenever like something good happens to Maggie. She's very negative. You want to pull her out of the book and just like throw her in front of a bus. She's so terrible. So she has this like resentment towards her sister because Maggie's like best in the swim team, and Maggie's like, look, like you're good, like you're like in the running to be like at All-State. Well, what happens is Maggie pushes herself really hard throughout the school year to like get, you know, the first spot on the All-State team. But when she goes home at night, her bed is haunted. Her bed is haunted, and every time she sleeps in it, she has these like dreams that are about like this girl. The girl is being chased and like stabbed to death in this bed that she's in. So she keeps having these dreams that this girl is being murdered, and the girl is like, help me. What happens is she starts going insane. Like she keeps having these dreams, and she keeps seeing this girl outside of her dreams. She's like, there's a girl that's in the shadow and she's holding a knife, and it gets to the point where she goes to her room and there's a knife stabbed in her pillow, and she goes to her sister and she's like, how dare you, Andrea, like why did you stab my pillow? I know what you're doing. Her sister's like, whoa dude, you're a psycho. And so this book like went by really quick. She literally moves. She's still at the same school, which I guess they're like in the same part of town, just like now they're in like the crappy part of town. So she moves to the school, she starts having these dreams, she's getting really stressed out about the swim team. Her sister keeps doing better and better, and like it's like really competitive, and Andrea keeps saying that she needs to beat Maggie, and Maggie's like, I can't let Andrea beat me. Oh, I totally forgot to mention that Maggie has a boyfriend named Justin, and that Justin is like a prick. Well, first she's afraid for Justin to come over because she doesn't want like him to see the house that she's in because she's embarrassed. But something that really triggered me, and I don't understand why this girl is with him, because she was told he had a wandering eye, and she's like, well, you know what, it's okay as long as that eye wandered over to me. And I was like, ew, like have some self-respect. Where is your dignity, sweetie? So she keeps going to Justin, and he's like not believing her, and no one is believing her, and her mom is like, look, I'm gonna try to get you in therapy. Oh, Maggie, I'm so sorry. Which her mom doesn't really play a part in this at all. She's only there to be a widow and to like say you need therapy. Great character development there. Maggie is really tired and she's not getting any sleep because she keeps having these dreams. And then when she's not having the dreams, she will try to go to her bed to go to sleep to have the dreams, to like see who this girl is that she keeps seeing in her dream. And we find out that the girl, her name is Miranda, and she is trying to tell Maggie something, and you're like, what is she trying to tell her? She keeps showing her the same thing over and over again. I don't remember what the order is, but like I said, there are 11 people on the swim team, and 4 of them really get the most of the attention, being Maggie, her sister Andrea, Dawn, who she's the best. I think she's coming in second a lot. And then there's Tiffany, who is coming in third, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. What happens is Dawn gets pushed down the stairs and breaks her arm. And she's like, I can't believe that you pushed me down the stairs, Maggie. And Maggie's like, whoa, dude, I did not push you down the stairs. And her sister's like, well, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. Her sister is like, oh, actually, I just moved up a step because she's in fourth. Now she's in third because Dawn can't swim with a broken arm. Maggie goes outside for some reason and she sits down by a tree and there's a man that comes and she's like falling asleep, and when she opens her eyes he's there, and it's written to where it's like he's gonna attack her, but he's really just like asking her, why are you out in the sun? Well, it happens to be her neighbor. Her neighbor, Milton Avery, comes and is like, oh, I was just checking up on you. And the conversation, of course, would turn into someone was murdered in her bed. She finds out that the girl she's been seeing was a girl who used to live there before her, and she was murdered in her bed by her sister. And she's like, whoa, like, oh my gosh. Maggie is suddenly like, whoa, this girl was killed in my bed. And she tells Justin, and Justin's like, doesn't matter, it's okay. No one is listening to her and no one is believing her. Anyway, moving forward, Tiffany is stabbed at school and Maggie sees that she's been stabbed and there's a puddle of blood that Tiffany's laying in. So it's like, wow, you know, Tiffany can't swim now because she's dead, but she doesn't die. But what does Maggie do? She runs over and she picks up the knife. And people run in and see that she's holding a knife and that Tiffany has been stabbed. She is not very bright. Maggie is like, I have to find out what happened. I have to know. So she goes to take a nap and her bed is gone. And it turns out that her mom moved the bed up into the attic because she realized that the bed was the cause for all of Maggie's problems, and Maggie was never like this until she started sleeping in this bed. I think Andrea tells her that the movers came back and Mr. Milton helped move the bed up to the attic. So Maggie decides that she is going to go sneak up into the attic and sleep in this bed in the middle of the night so that she can go back into this dream and, I guess, find out what happened. I would have said, thank you, get that bed out of here, dude. Maggie goes upstairs to go to sleep, and there is some girl sleeping in that bed. And she's like, oh my god, it's Miranda. So she goes to the bed, and who pops up? Not Miranda. What is her name? Gina. It's not Miranda. Miranda's dead. She was stabbed by her sister, Gina, who has been living in her attic. She escaped a mental hospital and came to sleep in the house that she used to live in. The house where she killed her sister because she was jealous of her. She basically said that her sister was mean, so she had to kill her, and that she was helping Andrea by killing, or not, she didn't kill them, by hurting those girls so that Andrea could swim on the swim team. She was helping her. So she's the one who's been doing all this, and her sister Miranda would... I don't understand how Miranda was giving Maggie these dreams through the grave. Like, she was giving Maggie these dreams that were like showing her how she died, and the only way that that's really explained is that Gina's like, well, she always did have powers, or said she had powers, and I was like, what? Let's just say I was very shocked by the ending. I didn't know where it was going, but I did not expect it to go to this place of this girl who was a real girl. I thought it was going to be a ghost. I thought they were like ghosts from the past. Well, it turns out that this bitch has been hiding up in her attic, and she's gonna kill her. So she goes to kill Maggie to basically give Andrea the life she's always wanted, a life without her big sister Maggie. And they take the canopy bed and they pull it down around her and they wait until the cops come, and I guess she's on crack. Yeah, that's the end. They are best friends now, and I guess they saved each other's lives, and now they believe that Maggie really wasn't crazy. That was Bad Dreams. I'm not gonna rate these books because I think looking at it from where I am now in my life and reading it back when I was younger, I won't give it really a fair rating like on Goodreads or anything, but this was pretty good. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of Bad Dreams. I thought it was astounding. Maggie Travers will go down in history as the baddest bitch on Fear Street. Give this video a thumbs up if you did like it and you look forward to more Fear Street Friday videos. I am excited. The series will probably change as we go along. There are a lot of Fear Street books to read, and these videos will just get better and more organized as I go. Before you go, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with everything that's going on with me and my wacky mind. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Viewers beware, you're in for a skip.